Hi friends, this is Dipty and welcome to my channel Life Admin 365 and welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you meals that I prepped in the first week of March. All the meals, I would say about 85% of the meals are prepped from veggies that were already prepped and frozen in my freezer. I was trying to use up everything that's from my freezer. So you can say that these meals are mostly meals that are made from previously frozen and prepped veggies. This is the last batch of my frozen veggies from about 2 months ago. So I'm going to restart the cycle of chopping, prepping and freezing with fresh new vegetables. So this weekend is going to be a huge round of grocery and I'm buckling up myself for that. With that said, let's get started.
But before sharing the meals, let me show you the mini prep that I did. First on the list is hot red chili paste. I'm using two different types of chilies, 50 grams of dry mirch and 25 grams of Kashmiri red chilies. First thing to do is to remove the stems from Kashmiri red chilies. Degi chilies come without the stems, so it saves a lot of time ripping them out. Then I'm ripping each chili open with scissors and dumping the seeds in a large plate. I always use gloves when I'm working with large quantities of chilies, especially when I'm ripping them apart and removing the seeds. Kashmiri red chilies are slightly leathery and it's best to first cut their tops and then cut them in the center and then dump the seeds. I always take the rib of the chili to which the seeds are attached. Rib is the spiciest part of the chili and that's why I always use it. I'm gathering all the seeds and later I will add olive oil to get the hot chili oil that I use for making salad dressings. Deseeding the chilies is very tedious and the most time consuming part of making the red chili paste. Adding both types of chilies to a large container and adding boiling water, ensuring that they are completely submerged in the water. Soak them for at least 2 hours and up to 5 hours. Then draining off the soaking liquid and saving it for blending and for rinsing the blender jar. Adding chilies from the strainer to the blender jar, then adding about 1/3 to half a cup of reserved soaking liquid to the chilies. Blending these at high speed to form red chili paste. Typically, I blend these in my Vitamix, but the quantity is so small that I'm using my magic bullet for blending. Oh my god, look at this vibrant red chili paste. After straining this paste through a strainer, I have transferred it into a mason jar. We'll use this chili paste for everyday cooking. Next is grinding and freezing green chilies. To my manual chopper, I'm adding about 200 grams of thoroughly washed and destemmed green chilies. A reminder that when you overload a manual chopping jar and try to process, the blades will not move at all. So don't do that. Instead, fill the blender jar to about halfway of its capacity, secure its lid in place and start chopping. I am looking for a coarse grind and not a paste and hence using a manual chopper instead of a blender. Pull the strings a few times in a continuous fashion to get a coarse but uniform chop. Remove lid, add a few more chilies, secure lid and pull string to process the chilies. Repeat the process until all chilies are processed. Then add 1 tablespoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of oil. Scrape the sides to get stuck on chilies towards the blade and process once more. Check this out. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Uniform ground coarse and not paste at all. Transfer it to a plate. I like to line the plate with plastic sheet, but it's optional. Spread it out uniformly and flatten the top. Freeze it for at least 1 hour. Alternatively, instead of spreading on plate, you can add it directly to a mason jar and freeze it. Added salt and oil will prevent it from turning it into an ice block. After an hour or two, take the plate out and separate the green chili squares and place them in a freezer safe container. This is where the plastic sheet comes in handy and makes it easier to remove the frozen chili squares. At least in my opinion, do whatever works best for you. Next, I'm freezing a few veggies. After rinsing and drying veggies, I chop them as uniformly as possible and froze them on a tray for about 2 hours. If you prefer to freeze directly in a container or a bag instead of first spreading it on the tray, that is flash freezing, it's fine too. But all your veggies will clump up together and unless you're going to use all of it, taking out a small portion from a large clump of frozen veg will be a challenge. So once again, do what works best for you and your style of cooking. Veggies like carrots, colored peppers, green beans, green peas, proteins like paneer and grains like corn are often used in small quantities in stir-fried dishes like fried rice, hakka noodles or when making veg upma or veg appe. For those dishes, having flash frozen instead of one big clump makes life a bit easier. Every now and then I prepare chocolate chip cookie dough and stash it in my freezer. My boys like to eat them in their frozen dough form more than they like to eat cookies, and whenever they fancy or whenever it's needed, I can always quickly bake these cookie dough balls to get some ooey gooey milk dunk worthy chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate chip cookie dough is one of those things that freezes very well. So after flash freezing it on tray, all I did is transfer them into this freezer safe bag and it goes in the freezer. I have already shared my chocolate chip cookie recipe in an earlier video, sharing that link in the card above and in the description box below. So do check it out. With that said, let let me share with you a couple of recipes using previously frozen prepped veggies and dals. First one is GAVAR, BATATA, BHAJI, AMTI and roti. It starts the night before. Take out pressure cooked, mashed and frozen tur dal cube and keep it in a bowl for thawing overnight. Place the remaining dal cubes back in the freezer. Next day, start preparing lunch. First, prepare AMTI. Prepare tadka in hot oil. Add mustard seeds, cumin seeds, hing and finely chopped green chilies and cilantro stems. Add thawed out pressure cooked dal cube and turmeric. Smush the cube with back of the spoon in a circular fashion and mix the tadka with the dal. Add water to adjust consistency and mix well. Add Maharashtrian goda masala, jaggery, salt and amsul and mix well once again. Bring it to a simmer on medium-low heat. Garnish with chopped cilantro. Let it simmer on low heat for a couple more minutes. In that time, peel and chop 2 medium yellow potatoes and take out prepared GAVAR from freezer for preparing bhaji. Place stainless steel pan on medium-high heat and add 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. When hot, add 1 teaspoon each of mustard seeds and cumin seeds. And when they crackle, add hing, finely chopped cilantro stems and chopped potatoes. Mix potatoes with tadka. Add finely chopped green chilies and turmeric. Mix well once more. Cook potatoes uncovered till they are about 50% cooked. Then add salt just enough to season the potatoes. Add in prepped frozen GAVAR. Mix GAVAR with the tadka seasoned potatoes. Cook uncovered for good 3 to 4 minutes on medium-high heat. Add in salt and goda masala and mix well to thoroughly blend seasonings and the masala with GAVAR. Cover and cook on medium-low heat for 2 to 3 minutes. Uncover, give everything a good mix and turn off heat. GAVAR batata bhaji is ready. Move bhaji to the back burner and place tawa for roasting rotis. While bhaji was cooking, I was rolling out rotis from previously prepped dough. Roast the prepared rotis on tawa and have them ready. Transfer prepared food to appropriate containers. Warm up bhaji and AMTI when ready to eat. The next meal is DUDHI, moong dal, bhaji and moong varan. This one also starts the night before. Soak 1/4 cup of moong dal in twice as much water overnight. Here I have frozen moong varan. I had portioned out moong varan immediately after preparing it and froze it. I have shared this preparation in an earlier video, sharing that link in the card above and in the description box below. Quick look at the prep of the night before. Thawing out frozen sliced bread for PB sandwiches for boys' lunch. Soaking 1 cup almonds in filtered water for making almond milk for my protein shake and chia seed pudding. It's the next day and about 5:11 am in the morning. I am ready to prepare lunch, go to gym and then head to school. Moong varan has thawed out and simply needs to be reheated in a pot on a stove. Moong dal has also soaked well. It just needs to be drained, rinsed with fresh water and it's good to go. Place kadhai on medium heat. While it is heating, take out prepped dudhi from freezer and have it ready to go. Add 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil and when hot, add 1 teaspoon each of mustard and cumin seeds, 1/4 teaspoon hing, finely chopped cilantro stems, 1 square of frozen prepped green chilies, soaked moong dal and lastly half a teaspoon turmeric. Give everything a good stir. Add salt per taste and lightly roast moong dal for 1 to 2 minutes. Cover and cook on medium-low heat for 1 to 2 more minutes. Uncover and add 1 teaspoon of frozen prepped garlic paste and give everything a good mix once again. Add in prepped dudhi that's barely been out of the freezer and mix well. When everything is mixed thoroughly, cook on medium-high heat for 2 to 3 minutes with minimum stirring in between. Dudhi has high water content and can become easily mushy, especially when it is used in its frozen state. So to avoid this mushiness, cook it on medium-high heat with minimum stirring. Add in salt per taste and mix well once more. Now lower heat to medium-low and cover and cook for 2 to 3 minutes. In that time, I'm checking on rice cooking on the other stove. We will eat some of this rice today and purposely use the remaining tomorrow for making Szechuan fried rice. Going back to dudhi bhaji. Uncover and mix well and check for doneness. Looks like it's almost done. Needs a few more minutes of cooking and it will be ready. Turn off heat though. Residual heat will finish off the remaining cooking. In that time, heat moong varan on the back stove. When reheating thawed out Indian food, it's best to heat on stove rather than microwave. This way the dal or usal or sabji comes together very well. Looks like rice is done. Check on dudhi bhaji. It's done as well. Transfer dudhi bhaji to an appropriate container. Do the same for rice and moong varan as well. After returning back from gym, I prepared roti, showered, got ready and headed to school right around 7:35, 7:40 am. Well, that's it. I will share the other meals prepared in this week in the next video. So stay tuned for that. I'm doing so in order to keep the video under 10 minutes. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. My voice is back and throat isn't hurting anymore. Thank you so much for watching. Do give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Indian meal planning and prepping videos and ideas. See you all in the next one.